welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're stepping back in time a bit.
Yeah, we're cracking open a really interesting old medical text.
Exactly. We're looking at this plant, Calotropis gigantea,
Uh-huh.
also called madar bark.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what healers believed about it centuries ago? Wow, it's actually pretty surprising.
It is. So the main source we're drawing from here is William Boericke's homeopathic materia medica.
Right.
And it's important to remember this isn't like a modern clinical trial. It's more a record of how the plant was seen, how it was used therapeutically back then.
It gives us a real window, doesn't it?
Definitely. A glimpse into a very different era of medicine.
So let's jump in. The text mentions it was used with marked success. That's the quote.
Yeah.
For a really wide range of conditions. I mean, things like elephantiasis, leprosy, even acute dysentery.
And also what they called mnemonic phthisis back then.
Which we'd recognize as tuberculosis now. That's quite a list for just one plant.
It is, and it kind of suggests they were looking at things maybe more holistically, observing these broad effects on the whole system, rather than just, targeting one specific germ.
Interesting. So what were the key actions they observed?
Well, two things really stand out in Boericke's text. First, that it significantly increased circulation in the skin.
Okay.
And second, that it was a powerful sudorific.
Sudorific.
Meaning,
It makes you sweat a lot.
right, like sweating out the illness.
Exactly. That connection between what's happening inside and, manifesting on the outside, like through the skin or sweating, that seems to have been a really core idea for them.
Okay, so given those actions, it makes sense that syphilis comes up. The text really focuses on its role there.
It does, specifically for secondary symptoms.
Right, and particularly it seems when mercury treatment wasn't working anymore, or maybe it was too toxic to continue. Mercury was pretty harsh stuff.
Very harsh. The idea was that Calotropis could sort of step in and rapidly recruit the constitution, as Boericke puts it. Basically help the body rebuild, heal the ulcers, the skin blotches,
Yeah.
and sort of finish the cure.
Yeah, and there's a key guiding symptom mentioned for its use in syphilis. Primary anemia.
Primary anemia. So like a deep weakness or exhaustion related to the disease, not just the skin stuff.
Exactly. It points to this idea that the plant wasn't just topical, it was addressing a kind of fundamental depletion that they associated with the illness, helping the patient recover when maybe other things had failed.
But it wasn't only for these really severe diseases, was it?
No, not at all. The text also lists heat and stomach as another guiding symptom.
Okay, so maybe something related to digestion or internal comfort too.
Possibly. And then there's a really surprising one, obesity.
Obesity, how does that fit in?
Well, Boericke notes this observation that while using it, flesh decreases, muscles become harder and firmer.
Wow, that's unexpected from a historical text. You have to wonder what they were actually seeing there.
Absolutely. Maybe something related to fluid balance given the sweating effect, or metabolism.
Right.
It really shows how empirical they were, just noting down these observed changes, even if they seem counterintuitive to us now.
Yeah, long before our modern ideas about weight management. Did it mention how they used it? Like the dosage?
It does give some practical details. The
Yeah.
dose mentioned is for the tincture, which is usually an alcohol extract.
Okay.
1 to 5 drops, taken 3 times a day. So quite small doses, actually.
And did it connect it to other remedies?
Yes, it lists relationships.
Yeah.
This was common practice comparing it to other known remedies of the time, like Merc for mercury, potassiode.
Potassium iodide.
Right, and some other botanicals like burbachweed, sarsap, ipecac. It helped practitioners understand sort of where it fit in their toolkit.
So wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway from this deep dive? Looking at Boericke's entry for Calotropis.
Well, it really opens up this view into how they approached health and healing back then.
Yeah, the sheer range of uses they recorded from something like syphilis, which is incredibly serious, to something like, obesity.
It's not just a list. It shows you a different way of thinking, based so much on careful observation, a more perhaps holistic view of the body, before we had all the science we have today.
Right. And it kind of makes you think, doesn't it, about how approaches to illness and remedies have evolved.
Exactly. What can you learn even from these older sources that aren't based on modern science? It highlights this enduring human quest for healing.
And the really diverse, sometimes surprising paths people took to find it.
It definitely shows the ingenuity, the observation skills of practitioners from the past. It's a fascinating thread in the history of medicine.